So the shorts that I recorded yesterday, dark morning, between 4 and 6 a.m., they disappeared from my YouTube channel. So I'm like, okay, that's what makes me think. One of the YouTube channels, when I push YouTube, it is something that the hackers put on here, and it goes straight to a bogus account. So they can automatically publish my works under their account, and they publish it first. So if it goes viral, they get paid for it. And of course, I can haggle with them and get an intellectual properties attorney to fight with them, but they probably know the likelihood of me doing that is slim to none. The research that they're doing now, once this lawsuit is done, I guess I'm going to get another way of posting, or maybe pay a company with great firewall protection or something, or certificates or VPN. I don't know how that works. I know when John Waldron gave us phones when he was in the hospital, he so-called gave us phones. I think he loaned it to us to get our information because the phones start disappearing, and it took me a couple of years to realize when people give you a phone, they want you to contact all the people you contact, have personal conversations, and then they have control over the phone because they gave it to you. They turned on the Find My Device. They have it already cloned, so they're already watching everything on the phone. And then when they're done, or they're ready to whatever, or they got the piece of information they need, or you fall out with them, they will send people around you to come and steal the phone. And I think they do it with spell work because, like, sometimes I feel like my mind is fragmented and I can't complete a thought in my head. And then when I start cutting cords and contracts and returning to sender all hexes and curses and calling back my energy, it's like everything is back to normal. And so I think that's how they get you to lay your phone down. And then they have people around you. They'll drop them off and ride around the block or whatever, 2 or 3 of them sometimes. And they'll steal the phone from you to give it back to the person that so-called gave it to you when they really only wanted to steal your information. It's a dirty game out here. I had somebody who is a fake friend tell me to go to Bay Shore where the rich people live and become a sitter and work with those people. Now, if I had taken his advice, I would have been working with those people, doing a great job taking care of their elderly and their little children, and they would have been hacking into them people accounts and taking their money, and then the people would have been looking at who? When the money came up missing, they would have been looking at me, and I wouldn't have had a clue that these people are being hacked by a so-called surgeon friend of mine. So this has really colored my whole life. As far as 333 was on the timer when I said that, this has colored my life in such a way that it's like, how can you have a fry's end, a friend? What is a friend? Why would you need one? Because everybody seems to be in fraud working. I mean, the people who own stores are putting these scam swipe things on their pay devices. And I'm watching these YouTube videos, and some of these cashiers done stole like 20 books of lottery tickets. There is no way that lady stole, and you can Google this, like lady arrested for stealing lottery tickets from work. There's a whole bunch of them. Ain't no way that these people who own these stores, these are mostly, and I don't mean to be offensive, I think they look to me like they're from Iran or Iraq. I only took one anthropology class, and they show you the bone structure of people's faces and then their genetics and the region of the world that they come from. So I would say these people are from the Middle East, fair skinned, just a little melanin, and kind of like the look of Bin Laden, or sometimes they look a little bit darker. And Iran, Iraq, Middle East. There's no way these store owners don't know that they're stealing them. I think they have this secret agreement. Okay, we're going to scratch them off and look for the big win. And then when we get the big win, we'll split it, or you take 20, you take 40. Because how that lady talking to him, I'm sorry, I'll pay it out of my check. I thought we had this worked out. They had a whole conversation. The way it was going down, it's like, nah. Because when we go in the little corner stores around my neighborhood, they just started letting you get by with, if you don't have 10 cents for tax or whatever. I mean, they be on you. And the little crackheads that like to run in and stick a beer down they pants, I mean, be beating them with bats with nails coming out of them. So they don't miss much. So how you didn't miss 20 books of lottery tickets? Bull. And the way they caught this lady, she had cashed in a $25,000 scratch off, 25,000, or a $2,500 scratch off. I can't remember, but it wasn't the store that caught them. It was the lottery department that spidey senses were raised, and they sent the police to investigate, or said something to the store owner, and the store owner's hand was forced. He had to report it to the police. And then when they went, she went to get her book back or something. She had so many books of lottery tickets. Y'all know how many months she got? 6 months. That's another way you know that it's an inside job. They probably paid off the police, and these are allegations. I'm just suggesting this now. Unless they just don't care about how much time people get for identity theft. It's like, I have been waiting almost 4 years now to get my identity back. And you can't rush the FBI, the CIA, and then these fraud workers. Many of them are part of covens, and so their whole life centers around setting people up for crimes. And hey girl, how you doing? And coming to your house and sliding some drugs underneath your sofa, and then calling their police officer friends that they got on payroll to, come and say, oh, well, we got a call that you're selling drugs out of this location, and you let them in because you don't sell no damn drugs, and they go right to the drugs. You see what I'm saying? It was a setup. Now you going to jail for a long time because that was, powder cocaine, right? And you didn't know nothing about it. Now, of course, when you sitting in jail and you backtracking and you praying to God and you straining your brain, you going to remember when your friend came over to your house, and it had to be her that put it in there. Now, when she come visit you, of course, she going to be crying and snot rolling out her nose. I would never do you that way. And then laugh at your ass after she leave you $10 in the commissary, right? So, scrap your friendships. I'm trying to tell you, if you're trying to live a righteous life, they are looking for righteous people to suck from. I have become a personnel agency. I go out, find jobs, and the people who clone my phones, they got little corrupt friends, and they will use your children. If you're a righteous person, they'll use your children's identity because they got a whole bunch of felonies. They do fraud. They'll use your children's identity, steal their ID. Your purse come up missing, then it get returned missing. You bugging, thinking, "Now what? I know Okay, well maybe I was mistaken. Maybe I did put it in the room or whatever." And you done talked yourself out of being able to catch the thief quicker. You need cameras. They got them wireless now. You need cameras in every room, and not obvious cameras. so that when people are doing their little dirt, and especially in the bathroom, not where you can see a person going to the bathroom or taking a shower, but a lot of people feel comfortable going into the bathroom to do their dirt. So maybe put it up above the mirror, because people usually stand at the sink and do the little dirty shit they gonna do. I guess you can find some paranoid ones that go in the shower and, take shit out your purse, then bring your purse and put it back. So you have to get crafty. If you're suspecting a person, you put it up, near the shower head, and then when they leave, you take it down. So you're not watching people while they shower. I guess the greatest line of defense is pray and ask God who you can trust. And when God says, don't fuck with that one, don't fuck with that one. That's really the reality, because they have been stealing my job opportunities and giving them to other people and putting me on the DNR list, and I don't belong on the DNR list. And then they'll double back and work under my name, which is what I think is happening at Amalie Oil. Somebody has been working under my name. And I'm just going back as God and I talk, and I'm like, nah, God, I'm always able to dip in and dip out and get me a couple of weeks' work. And now I can't even get a couple of hours' work. And it's because of what they're doing behind the scenes, paying people not to put me on. These agencies, a lot of people within the office don't have integrity, and they can be paid a couple of $1,000s to ruin your life. I'm still waiting for 4 days of work. My check never came to me. I believe Miss Sharon over there at Liberty Staffing gave them to Letitia. Yeah, Letitia probably went in there and, oh, she owes me money, and I lent her money to pay her taxes on her property, and she did. And she did my taxes for me, and my taxes, in the note, she put her bank account so that my taxes would go into her bank account. She says she didn't receive it. Her friend, Attorney McKnight, not attorney. Why do I keep calling him Attorney McKnight? He's an accountant. Accountant McKnight on East Hillsboro, next to the Alibi. Is that next to the Alibi Strip Club? Or is it next to the Suncoast Federal Schools Credit Union? Okay, between 19th Street and 22nd Street, East Hillsboro in Tampa. Right down from Irwin Vocational. He is a friend of Letitia's. Now, I went to him and I signed a power of attorney giving him the power to investigate my 2010 taxes and where my 2010 taxes went. I want you to know he canceled the meeting and said, oh, I can't help you with identity theft. I said, okay, you can't help me with identity theft. That don't even make sense, but okay. You can help me find out where them 2010 taxes went into Letitia's bank account, right? But since she your friend, she told you don't tell her and da 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 da. I'm just speculating. She might not have did that. She might really not have received it, because it turns out my siblings are fraud workers. So Anthony could have been a part of that. Alva could have been a part of that. Ava could have been a part of that. But I gave him consent, power of attorney to help me. Now, it might have been Donnie. Somebody in my circle claimed me, claimed my children, created a fake birth certificate and said they were my daddy. Okay, so on my birth certificate, it says Arthur Atkins is my daddy and Dorothy Jean Starks Atkins is my mama. So who would have done something like that? Who's audacious enough to do that? Donnie Dwayne Flowers is audacious enough to do that. John Waldron was involved. Clarence Joseph Washington Jr. is audacious enough to do that. Is he old enough to be my daddy? Yeah, he could have had me at 14 or 15. Thomas Stewart is audacious enough to do that. Is he old enough to be my daddy? I mean, we have like maybe a 13 or 15 year difference. And there are some children who have babies at 14 or 15 years old. Who do we think it is? Who do we think put daddy down? Donnie, Donnie Dwayne Flowers, and then claim my children, and then put it on the taxes, and probably went to Mr. McKnight and did the same little, tax scheme. I don't know. I don't have any information. I don't even have my mail because they still in my mail too. Now, God knows. God knows. And God is going to get to the bottom of it, and he's going to tell me whether through dream or I'm going to get to work or start selling eggs or hot chocolate. I'm going to do something because it's time for me to start making money for Christmas. Yes, I have put a little YouTube up asking people to buy us gift cards so my children can at least get new technology. The libraries are closed right now, and our technology need help. So that's slowing us down, getting things done that we need to get done. So I have got to get back into making money for myself. So if they're not going to hire me, I have to create my own job. Now, I created YouTube and I got a lot of money that YouTube owes me. But again, the hackers get in the way. So I have got to figure out a way to go out, provide a service, and people pay me right then in cash. Because if you send me Cash App, if I'm not careful, they going to take that too. They all in this phone. And so I don't know. I'm going to finish tracking down who's working as me. I believe my sister Alva was working as me as a substitute teacher because I have a bachelor's degree and 1 semester of a master's degree. So when you're on long-term assignments, if you have a bachelor's degree, you get $16 to $18 an hour. And she doesn't have a degree, so she gets paid like $12 an hour. So it gives her $4 more an hour if she pretends to be me or takes my University of South Florida transcripts and whites out my name and put her name in. So she might not be working as Aileen Dorothea Atkins. She might have taken Aileen Dorothea Atkins' transcript and put her name, Alva, instead of Aileen. So it's a lot of little scammy tricks that people are using, and they'll hem you up if you're not careful. So this is one of the reasons I've kind of just started to evaluate the people that I'm around. And ever since I kind of set strong, firm boundaries, life and peace have been on the increase. Amen. Is there anything else I need to say? I don't get any kind of disability checks, not for my children or myself. The doppelgangers, the imposters, they get the disability checks. I do not get my trust fund allowance. I haven't received $1 of that. I haven't went and claimed my USF settlement. I have not seen $1 of my U.S. Department of Labor check from being shot at Rogers Park. I don't want to even say that because I really want to go back to work there. Even if it's just first shift, I have contacted Emily Oil and